Hello and welcome to a game of Dota 2. We are watching the Recall EMS 01. This is for fall 2013. And this is cup number 2. We're gonna see Fnatic taking on D.P.W.Z. And with me, of course, once again, his Veckermond. Welcome back.
Good to be back. We've had a long day, honestly, but I mean, I'm excited for this game. I would like to see Fnatic sort of bounce back. They did have a very long and grueling game just now, basically an hour plus some mysterious pauses. Yeah. I mean, they're up against a team. I'm not familiar with D.P.W.Z. at all. I'm not entirely sure. Where are they from?
Well, we can see that because I believe the flags are listed on the brackets, and I wanted to show the brackets anyway, so that's so good.
Well, there we go.
That's
what a lead-in.
A very, very brilliant lead-in. So the lead-in is here, the brackets. We are seeing that a couple of teams got themselves a free win, or at least free pass past the first round, including the team that will be up against the winner of this one, which would be 1, I believe. Actually, I don't know who that is. But D.P.W.Z. are Russians. That's what we can say. They are white, blue, and red. That's what they are. And we're seeing the teams of today. So the teams that you should watch out for sure. Of course, Empire, 4FC, definitely not someone that you can underestimate. Virtus.pro, Fnatic, and of course Menace as well. As those are actually, like, Empire, Virtus.pro, Fnatic, and Menace are the 4 that are probably favored to be in the semifinals tomorrow. And of course, we're gonna only have the first 2 rounds today, and then we're gonna jump ourselves. Then we're gonna jump ourselves a day forward, and then the semifinals will be played tomorrow after each other, so no overlapping games tomorrow. Well, at the moment there is actually 4 games going on in the first round and 4 games again going on at the same time in the second round. But tomorrow no overlaps, and tomorrow the finals are gonna be there. Anyways, that's gonna be the brackets. Of course, if you want to check those out for yourself, you can do so, and you can do so on the EMS webpage, and that would be. Well, I can actually say that well, but it's like www.esl.eu, and I think you can find your way from there going to ESL EMS1. It's a long one that I would actually try to pronounce, and I think I would fail at that, and I don't want to do that. So here we are with a game of Dota 2, as apparently I don't know what just happened. There we go. With a game of Dota 2 and a draft, of course, already still going on. We have got IO Bat banned out. We also got a Visage and an OD banned out. With now also the Gyrocopter removed. D.P.W.Z. picking up an Abaddon and a Weaver. Now that's a strong combination to have from the get-go. Of course, Fnatic, they pick up Nature's Prophet and the Naga Siren. And those also are 2 very strong heroes.
Yeah, I think Naga is, out of these 4 heroes, is pound for pound the strongest right now, simply because of her incredible versatility and ability to do almost everything better than almost any other support can. Like, what really is another support better at doing than Naga is, if you think about it? She has near the top of damage with no items because of Riptide. She has the best scouting, like vision ability with her illusions. She has, you could argue, the best single target disable, and one of the best AoE disables, and she has really good base movement speed. Like, the list goes on. So I think Fnatic definitely are happy with their lineup already. Nature's Prophet for Trixie. We know that Fnatic are a team that really likes the split push. In fact, maybe one of their more uncomfortable things in the last game was they really had not many vehicles to split push with until they got Dezo Weaver, which was very late in the day. Whereas D.P.W.Z. much more of the, we're a Russian team, we want to go get kills by putting a Photic Shield on Weaver and killing you.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, we've got the keeper of the line now also for Fnatic, and I mean, if you're talking about Naga Siren being a strong support, if you have an Illuminate, then to add to all that she brings, and I mean, every spell that she has combines up with the Illuminate, maybe apart from the mirror images, but you can of course ensnare, Illuminate over the top, Song setting up for a nice level 4 Illuminate, and
Bullman.
Bullman. Yes, Spirit Breaker picked up by D.P.W.Z. I hope this is going to be a support Spirit Breaker, because that will mean that they will be a bit more aggressive in the early game.
Yeah, I think it will be. Honestly, that's pretty cool. Like, charge in, just put the Photic Shield on Spearbreaker if you want, if they try to stun him, and have Weaver mop everybody up. Fnatic, meanwhile.
Oh wow.
Alright, yeah. They want to kill towers. Insufficient tower killing power last game, going to ramp it up, add the Phantom Lancer. And honestly, Phantom Lancer here is a very good pick. He would probably be the 5th ban for D.P.W.Z. if he made it that far. But instead, they have next to no wave clearing power right now. They have 3 heroes already drafted, and none of them can really clear a wave effectively. Weaver in particular is a hero who, as the game wears on against PL, feels more and more impotent. So, good choice by Fnatic. I know you won't be happy because I think you hate the crap out of PL, but
I don't hate the crap out of PL. I just don't like the kind of game he normally brings.
Well, that's very... now, at least you won't hurt PL's feelings, but I
Yeah.
feel like it boils down to more or less the same thing, right?
It's like, I mean, normally you see him in split pushing. He is gonna try to evade fights. There's a Ninja Prophet there as well. They're gonna play it safe. They're gonna split push to death. And I mean, I'm happy that there's gonna be a Spirit Breaker to try and break that trend.
Break the spirit of the Phantom Lancer? Yeah, sure. And if he doppelwalks, you still have the doesn't break charge, so you still know where the correct Spirit Breaker is. That might actually come in handy at some point. I mean, it's hard to say because I have no idea what execution level D.P.W.Z are going to run at. BTW adding a Bane means it's actually going to be core Spirit Breaker. So interesting to see where they'll lane him. We saw some people experimenting with Spirit Breaker mid, but it's tough to say as Fnatic don't actually have their mid yet. So you could end up with a very bad matchup.
Yeah, well, both teams don't really have their mid lane just yet. Well, I'm kind of thinking that now we can assume that the Spirit Breaker, or Abaddon actually, is not going to be a support anymore, unfortunately. Queen of Pain gets removed for one side, so Fnatic is also assuming that there's still mid to be picked up. First pick, of course, goes to Fnatic. So I would say the advantage in the mid lane is actually, should in theory be going the way of D.P.W.Z. In terms of heroes, of course. I mean, we have...
counter pick option? Yeah.
Yeah, we have a team that that a lot of people haven't heard about before. At least I hadn't heard about them before. And they will be going up against a team that was invited to the International.
Right.
Good luck.
Yeah, definitely. But hey, nobody expects anything of you. There is literally zero pressure on you because nobody thinks you're going to win. So that might be freeing in some respect. Anyway, if they wanted to run the Spirit Breaker mid, it's not going to happen now. Timbersaw hits the field. I think the Puck ban was much better. Like, they couldn't ban Timbersaw. They really did need to ban Puck because Puck would be better here. But T-Saw is definitely going to make some impact.
T-Saw.
T-Saw. What do you want me to call him? Rizrak the Goblin Shredder? I'll pass.
Mr. T.
Mr. T. Mr. T is pretty good, actually.
Yeah. We are gonna see last pick for D.P.W.Z, and I'm hoping for a great one there. I'm hoping for actually, we can do really well up against Timbersaw.
Out of their remaining options, not that much. Queen of Pain actually does quite well against him, but against Timbersaw, I mean, obviously they could go Troll. Let's see the Troll, actually. Completely unironically, they should run Troll here.
You mean you're not trolling when you say that you want to troll? Sorry, I had to say it. It's just so bad.
Right, fair enough. No, I deserve that to some extent. Yeah, I think Troll's an option. At least it gives them the ability to push down Fnatic before they can split push. It funnels you into a pretty narrow way to win the game. But that's probably what they need to do anyway, because if they let it go long, there's almost nothing they can draft right now that'll do it. Plus, Troll Spirit Breaker, we saw somebody, I think Kaipi, run it the other day. I'm not persuaded of the Lifestealer. Who are they going to run mid, for instance? Weaver?
I'm thinking they have Lifestealer in mind for mid.
I don't like that.
I don't like it either, unless maybe they put the Bane mid. The downside is, or maybe the upside for them, for the players, of course, we don't know where they're going to go based on who's playing what.
I don't hate the Bane mid idea, actually. It could be okay.
Yeah. I think it would be better than the Lifestealer. I mean, that strength issue that you always go on about.
Yeah, it's not the worst matchup, because Lifestealer, of course, is pretty good against... Wow, sick burns. It's worth mentioning.
Yeah, I'm sorry. But that's the only reason why every time Timbersaw's there... I mean, I was playing a pub today, and I was a support on the lane with an Iowa and a CK, and there was a Timbersaw up against us, and I in my head thought about everything that you ever said about that matchup.
Did you lose?
I didn't lose that many games.
Was it at least very painful because of the whirling death?
I think we killed him a couple of times because I was I was an extra stun, so I was
right. It's not as easy with 1v3. So
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I mean, it's one of the foundations of Timbersaw being used as a mid hero, certainly.
Yeah.
Either way, I think D.P.W.Z came out with a workable lineup. I do think Troll gave them a lot more ways to win. Like the Lifestealer is more. Like, it almost is even narrower than the Troll would have been. This Lifestealer basically has to do well, or they just lose.
You know what? It's either gonna be Spirit Breaker, or Lifestealer, or Weaver. Good luck. Nobody actually has a build that's specifically mid-oriented. But let's see who's playing what, so we get some idea about the players as well. Who are these people? No, we are seeing Denk. He is playing the Bane. If I'm pronouncing it Denk, like the French way, like the QE. Yeah. Denk will be playing the Bane. He'll be playing a support Bane. It will be... Tim Kanike, playing the Lifestealer. He'll probably... Well, I don't know where he's gonna go. We're gonna see where he's gonna go. We're gonna see ZZ playing the Abaddon. And the Weaver also for now on the bottom lane. And he'll be played by Babunkje? Yeah. And then we're missing one.
You miss Spiritbreaker, who has like a little shocked anime face.
Spiritbreaker is just... I'm just gonna call him Cowman. No, that's not right, because there was actually someone that, like, his nickname was Cowman. That's not nice. Well. So I'm gonna call him Space Cow.
Space Cow, yeah. It's legit. Yes. I prefer Bullman, but Space Cow's a pretty legit nickname, too. Either way, they're going to be going up against No Tail in the mid on the Nature's Prophet. We've actually seen this once before, and the Nature's Prophet definitely a competent mid here with a great creep block here, putting the range creep way ahead. It's going to die almost immediately to pull the lane back. Actually, could be setting up for a gank. They spot it, so they spotted Hani on the Naga Siren already, unfortunately. Hani, of course, in the support. He's eventually going to go over to the top lane, where Era is on the Phantom Lancer and Fly is on the Keeper of the Light, leaving Trixie to pilot up the off lane on Timbersaw.
Yeah, and up against that Weaver Abaddon lane. I love this lane. It's actually a tri-lane because there's also Lifestealer, but Lifestealer is actually jungling, so I'm not sure how much we can actually count him in. We still have Hani hanging around on the top lane, or on the middle lane. He might try to go for a Courier Snipe at some point, but he is not patient enough to sit around and wait. And actually, they've got nice wards standing here with Sentry and with Observer, so Naga Siren will not be able to get something in here. And this Spirit Breaker is going to be very safe. Oh, still takes a Riptide actually, but oh well.
I am not sure what I think about this Lifestealer jungle. I mean, I guess it's better than trying to hard lane Lifestealer against this lineup, because if they bait your rage out, they could just kill you afterwards. But jungle Lifestealer pretty slow, and he doesn't have Quelling Blade to reduce the amount of incoming damage by doing the what the hell's that called? The creep funneling, where you sort of sit here.
Oh wow! Space Cow's gonna go for Hani. If he's lucky, he gets another bash, but no, Hani faster, Hani boots, and Hani Salve and Clarity. Ooh.
This is a pretty safe lane for Spirit Breaker overall, though. There's not much that Fnatic can do to them, especially because Nature's Prophet's damage early is just really not impressive. Yeah, then again, maybe if they... Well, they can't even do the creep blocks, because he can charge out. So, yeah, this should be just fine for Spirit Breaker. Since he's not facing up against Timbersaw, this is a... I like this lane. My concern is that Lifestealer is going to be leveling. He's okay so far, but it's not going to be fast.
Not at all. And of course you're gonna have to keep in mind, I mean, they are farming up against a PL Nature's Prophet lineup, so this is basically a ticking time bomb. On top of that, it is overall known that more experienced teams are normally better in the late game just purely by decision making, like disregarding which heroes there are. Yes. It is just decision making that's there. And I mean, that's gonna be probably something that D.P.W.Z has to be worried about late game. How are they gonna first win the early game so that they don't need to be in late game? That's gonna be their trouble. And if you're then gonna have a Lifestealer that's jungling, you won't be able to use him that much. You need to have that Spirit Breaker really dominating in the mid game to be able to make that happen.
Hani just annoying Tim Kanike here. Like, he just hits him with Riptide, and now if he keeps taking the creeps, they're gonna do really good damage to him. So he's supposed to... Whoa! They meet. 2 ships passing in the night, and now they're going to try to chase, but No Tail is here to do both a little bit of body blocking and protection of Hani. So I think Hani's perfectly safe. He's given up. I wonder if this is a thing Fnatic are experimenting with, putting Hani in sort of a hard roaming role, where they sacrifice a lot of his levels, but they add a little bit of danger to each of the lanes. Because this is the second game in a row in which he's given up a ton of early XP.
Yeah, I actually like seeing this. I mean, oh, Hani, hello. 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 Nightmare? Yes? In comes also the Weaver. That takes the Nightmare off. They might be able to get a first blood here. Is there going to be a Gemini attack? Yes, there is. First blood. Boom. Done. Hani dies. Trixie tries to help out. Might be able... No, won't be able to do anything against it. That's going to be Trixie living, but his teammate already down.
It's actually pretty hard to kill Trixie here, but yeah, if your Naga walks right into you. They saw them. They saw him. They have good vision. The basics so far... fine for D.P.W.Z, I feel. The only thing is the Lifestealer's under level, but if he gets the open wounds, they're really far under tower.
Yeah,
nope.
Too much.
Close. A little bit different positioning. Once you land the open wounds, you can dive because of the lifesteal.
In the meantime, there's a free-farming Phantom Lancer.
Ruh-roh.
What?
This could be trouble, honestly, for Spirit Breaker.
Yes,
well, there's nobody else coming. Probably Lifestealer comes back, but that's a lot of damage. He has to use Salve.
It's only level 1 Sprout, so it doesn't last that long. He is faster than the Nature's Prophet. He should be able to get out. He's got boots, Nature's Prophet doesn't. On top of that, he's got a bit of an aura, so he shouldn't die.
He will have to salve up And he's not... He doesn't have bottle yet, does he? Yeah, so he's not actually doing that great. 10 denies for Nature's Prophet, only 2 for the Spirit Breaker.
Pretty decent, actually. I mean, considering he's been moving around quite a bit. And he's only
For
6
sure.
last hits behind. And of course, No Chill has got 10 denies. That does help. As in, helps No Chill.
For sure. I mean, meanwhile, Era, 29 for 9 in the top lane. They are going to push this top tower. I don't think D.P.W.Z are going to bother defending. They'll probably just let that go. And levels, I mean, all the supports sort of starved. Obviously, Naga Siren is doing the worst, but it's not like Bane is doing all that much better. They're actually choosing to give a little bit of extra farm to Abaddon. You can see Bane is kind of in this shuttling position where he's trying to add a little bit more harassment onto the Timbersaw and protect the jungle, but he's not really encroaching upon Abaddon's camps. They're letting Abaddon get a few more extra levels. It's certainly a choice. And they do know that the Naga is starved on the other side, so maybe they feel more comfortable that Abaddon is going to be more valuable than Keeper of the Light.
Yeah.
Because you can walk right into an Illuminate with Aphotic Shield up and do a lot of AoE damage.
And of course, there's still level 1 Naga Siren. He said AFK a few seconds.
He said AFK 7 seconds.
Oh yeah. Well, that's just awkward. Oh, you can just pause the game saying, oh wait, you know what? Wait, I'll be right back. Middle of a competitive game. Imagine that TI3. Wait a second. Need to go to the toilet. Can happen. Oh, haste rune for Hani, by the way. This could be a big impact if he finds something else. Finds something new shiny. He looks for the Lifestealer, can't find him right now. Lifestealer, of course, making his way towards the top lane. Temka Nika?
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Temka.
Right. Hani, Haste Rune, I just still don't see really anything happening with just Riptide. The best they could do is try to do something on Spirit Breaker, but even so. Here comes the TP. Yeah, Lifestealer, I'm not sure he should have come down here, but he will rage, they won't kill him, but his presence here was not of much effect.
Oh, I'm actually thinking, yeah, tower will drop, so that's guaranteed. It's already an early start for Fnatic. I mean, Fnatic do have, in theory, a late game lineup, but they could just try to push it out very fast if they choose to, depending on how much they get ahead in the lanes that they are playing, of course. Which on the top lane they're getting immensely ahead. Trixie though, he's level 5. He is actually doing pretty okay for an offlane Timbersaw, but then again he is, of course, a Timbersaw. And it's pretty difficult.
The thing about it, I'm glad you pointed out the fact that Fnatic can kind of just like not even worry about their late game push, because the choice of Lifestealer over something like Troll or somebody that has an AoE spell is that, yeah, you have... Who among them can anti-push effectively? Weaver, kinda? And even so, it takes several Shookachis. Forget about if Phantom Lancer gets some items, then you have no anti-push. So I am really concerned about D.P.W.Z's draft unless they just start racking up the kills, which here's an attempt to do it on Trixie.
Yeah, but they don't have enough damage to take him down. The brain,
No,
every burst already used, and he's still on 280 HP, 8 stacks of reactive armor. I mean that it makes him too tanky. They can't take him down fast enough. And in the meantime, that's gonna be within 6 minutes, and within 2 minutes of or 1 minute of each other, we've got 2 towers picked off on the top lane, both the tier 1 and the tier 2. And who's gonna try and defend that right now? It's not gonna be the Lifestealer. He can't sacrifice his farm there. He has to be farming. He has to be leveling.
He can get XP, and that did give him a little bit of XP, but that's it. And even so, he still has to basically flee. Yeah, I don't know. I think D.P.W.Z, another good thing Fnatic did there was, it took No Tail to jungle for a while, gave Hani a few levels. Now he's caught all the way back up to the Bane. So even though Hani had the slowest start of any player, he's now doing, I would say, pretty okay.
Yeah, I'd say the same thing. Weaver in the meantime, 32-5. He's not highest on last hit, so that is still Era. Oh, wow! Close. The chain goes the wrong way. As Nature's Prophet goes down to the mid lane. Abaddon with the kill. Hani gets in his snare up on the Spirit Breaker. They might be able to do something here. The block from the treants. Is it going to be enough? No, it is not. He's too fast. The Riptide's still there, but 100 damage still left to do. And they force both away. But the Nature's Prophet actually going down. That's a pretty nice pickup for D.P.W.Z. They used a charge for that, I believe.
It is.
And a shield with the last hit, I would expect. A 2-0. Pretty nice.
Yep. It's actually an excellent kill. It at least gets the Spirit Breaker up to a little bit ahead on XP relative to the Nature's Prophet. He has Urn that gets him a couple charges. Those are quite useful as well. So it's a nice kill. I wish they were more than 2 kills up at this point for their own sake, but any sort of little advantage that they can curry is good.
And we're gonna see so far. Fly, I mean, he's level 5 right now, which is pretty decent compared to Hani. Hani now also getting some levels in the mid lane, but we're jumping on to the bottom lane where No-Tail is trying to TP out. We'll be able to do so before he dies. Trixie running for his life. Chops some trees as he goes, but there was a close TP out though.
Yeah, actually if Bane had cast Nightmare instead of Brain Sap, they would have killed them.
Yep. In the meantime, you have Era in a lot of trouble.
Yep.
Yeah, the Urn Charge is there. He's already dusted up.
Got him.
Then that's going to be another striking him to death. That's going to be another pickup for the Spirit Breaker. And this is actually starting to look pretty okay for D.P.W.Z. They're definitely not out of this just yet. In terms of... Which one did he delete? What?
He blew up a bunch of items on the ground. I can't remember who they were.
Was he building Tranquils?
I think so, yeah. I think he blew up parts of a Tranquil. Well, I mean, it's fine, but it's a little bit of money wasted, right? Yeah, here's a Ring of Protection, Ring of Regen bought up.
He's got Tranquils again. Trixie, though. Yeah. Trixie might actually die here. Maybe he gets the Weaver instead. Weaver still has time lapse, and Trixie gets himself out.
Oh, it was Basilius that he disassembled to build Tranks, and instead he just has to... He loses the Basilius parts and builds the Tranks manually.
Charged up mid for Naga Siren. But they see it. There's the ward there. He walked right past it, and Hani backs off wisely. So, charge gets cancelled. I mean, this is something that Spirit Breaker has to continue to do. And then the question is, can he keep having his rotations being successful? Because if he can't, then Fnatic is going to get ahead for sure. But if he can, then they're just keeping themselves in the game, and he should be snowballing quite easily as Era is still on the top lane, or again on the top lane.
Yeah.
Just be careful.
The concern for Spirit Breaker is his farm in lane was pretty bad. I mean, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't great, right? He only has 27 last hits now. Most of his income has come from participating in 2 kills. And you can see that in a laning situation, it's not like he can stand up to Era. Like, just the Spirit Lance alone... Yeah, look, like he's being zoned out by No-Tail threatening to TP and not even TPing.
Yeah, oh no. And this might actually be a kill. One more hit, one bash. Is it enough? They don't get the Era, or they almost get Era, but they get Era.
Oh my god, they got him.
Boom! That's gonna be Spirit Breaker still getting Era, and that's not a worthy trade actually for Fnatic.
No, it's not. What a weird trade that was. I really thought Era would walk away, but yeah, the extra tower hits. Nobody took the tower aggro because nobody was there.
Nobody was there. We've got Lifestealer in the meantime. 22 last hits. He's leveling in mid lane right now together with Hani, just to get themselves some levels. I mean, both of these are under-leveled, under-farmed, and they're just both trying to catch up. Nature's Prophet still has his Hand of Midas off cooldown. Can you finally use it? Thank you.
So low. He actually time-lapses, but he's still low. So Trixie, we could see him die for a kill here, actually.
He might
the issue here is just, it comes down to fundamentals, right? Like, I don't usually like to talk about the graphs, especially this early, but like... They're up 4-1, and they're down 6,000 gold for the privilege, right? And it's just a matter of Fnatic are a very experienced team that is going to farm the map better than you. So the question is, assuming that, how do you win?
How do you win? Well, of course, 2 towers definitely make a difference. In theory, that's about 3,000 goals. Yeah, there's a charge up on Trixie. He does have still got quite a few mana to get himself out. If he gets the Timber Chain towards that tree, he should be able to get out. In comes CPs actually also. They want to try and fight this. It's gonna be Fly here first. Trixie still taking some damage. In comes a Song. Another strike still hits, but Trixie will get out of there. Of course, with the help of the Song. In comes the Sprout up on the Weaver. They go for the Weaver first. He's still on. No, he does not have a time lapse, does not have a cooldown, and also does not have the mana. Unless he uses his stick charges, which he does. So he has got the mana again. In the meantime, nobody dead just yet on the side of the Radiant team. Trixie gets back into the fight, but it might be a bad choice, and it is a bad choice. He goes down, abandoned with the last hit. Down goes the Keeper of the Light also. 2 pickups on the side. Oh, a Fiend's Grip, No-Tail. That's 3 dead on the side of Fnatic. Trixie bought back. Wants to go for the Lifestealer, but gets put in the Nightmare, and everybody will be able to get themselves out, or will they? Timber Chain after that Lifestealer. He gets him, and that's gonna be...
No!
What?
No-Tail snuck an Oski in.
Damn.
So that's something. Honestly, that was a very good fight for D.P.W.Z.
It was an amazing fight. Era, in the meantime, was able to push a little bit out more, but still not enough to take down the tower on the top lane.
I actually thought that their positioning during that was really good. Playing like a very strong team there. They're charging again. I mean, this is the thing. They're under the gun to just continually get kills and charges. But Spirit Breaker's gonna have to call this off. Yeah. This is too hype even for the Bullman. Yeah, he's just taking a ride to mid.
Yeah. We do have, by the way, the I mean, there were 3 kills there on the side of D.P.W.Z.
Yep.
And they forced a buyback out of Trixie, who only got a Lifestealer in return for that. Not even an assist on anything else. Nothing else died in the vicinity of him. Actually, maybe the Keeper of Light just did, but I don't think so. But that's a pretty big blow. Trixie, who is still, of course, I mean, he is still doing really well, don't get me wrong. But he still costed him a lot, and actually, they're gonna try to go for him again. They do have the time left, they do have Shikushi as well. The Timber Chain away will be enough to get him away up there, though.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to catch this guy out unless you commit your entire team to it. I do think the BKB for Weaver is going to be pretty good, especially because Weaver can just get blown up by Timbersaw so incredibly quickly. So that'll be very, very nice. Honestly, the Nature's Prophet Ultimate has been doing a lot of work too, especially once No-Tail hits 11. So BKB will help against that as well.
Yeah, we have a Fiend Script up again on the Bane, and I think they mean to use it. Maybe up on Hani, or maybe up just up against the first target that they see. Double damage rune up for the Weaver in the meantime. I mean, look at the wording from Fnatic all of a sudden. This is responses to the Space Cow.
Yeah, for sure.
They want to know when someone's getting charged.
Right, and it's a fantastic... I really like their ward loadout, as you just said. It's they're trying to cover all the points. Now, this is sometimes even not enough, but at least it gives you an early warning system. Like a big siren in the shape of a cow.
Yep. And the courier, of course, almost respawned again. It wasn't carrying anything when it died, but it's still pretty annoying for D.P.W.Z, especially since it's still fairly early in the game. So you're gonna have to do without your core items for a while. If you are indeed getting enough money to get them up, and actually looking at their inventories, they're actually not getting those up. So, oh well. Lifestealer not farming well right now. He has got phase boots, but it will take a while before he gets anything else.
There's a lot of ultimates.
Bye, Honey dead.
A lot of ultimates for that, but at least it's a kill.
Well, they have to, like you said, they have to continue keeping the pressure on, and this is the way of doing it. Fiend Script charging, Nether Strikes. Nether Strikes, of course, very short cooldown.
Oh yeah.
But Fiend Script, of course, will be the bigger one. No-Tail coming in with an Invis rune. There's a sentry right here, though, so he'll see it.
Again, the concern is just that Era is a persistent threat to just randomly backdoor you.
Yeah. And
so you basically need somebody on Era duty. It's going to be increasingly difficult to deal with those Phantom Lancer illusions because you didn't draft too much in the way of AoE. So the fact that they still have no towers down is my major concern for D.P.W.Z. Like right now, if you who can actually end this game in the next 5 minutes? It should be D.P.W.Z, but it's actually Fnatic. And the fact that that's the answer to that question is sobering if you're the Radiant here.
Yeah, I agree. Fly building towards the mechanism first team. I mean, so far, they're still behind on kills. 6 kills behind, but look at that gold graph. It has been starting to evening out a bit. Of course, there's not been any towers down on the side of D.P.W.Z since the last, since the other two. But they're still almost 7,500 gold ahead. And it looks like we might have a fight on our hands. Nope, never mind. No Fiend Script up. It's 15 seconds for that to be back up again on the Bane. And we might then have a go on Trixie. But then again, still, Trixie has got a lot of armor. And I think he should be okay still. Almost level 11. I mean, the level differences also quite big, actually. Only the Spirit Breaker is actually doing really well there. He's level 11. He is part of the top 4. Because there's 4 people level 11. And only one of those is on the side of the Radiant. The other 3 are, of course, the 3 cores of Fnatic. And the rest of D.P.W.Z is all lower, is all level 9 or lower. And that's a big difference there. Especially for those ultimates that you want to have.
Right, precisely. And I think it's great that they got these kills. They got a good, solid early game lineup. They weren't just embarrassed in the early game, but the issue is that strategically Fnatic are still advancing their primary goals in fairly effective manner. And D.P.W.Z, they've gotten kills, but they haven't stopped the train from sort of rolling. And that's the real crappy thing about losing this tier 2 this early, is if you want to...
Up a Trixie. Can they actually take him down? I think they can. They should be able to. Or can they? Timber Chain! Ooh, it was close, but Bane with the Brain Sap still enough.
Pure damage, definitely good against a guy with really high armor.
Yeah.
But if they want to kill Era, how do they do it, right? They have to send the entire team. It's going to take a very long time to get up there, and you might not even get the kill. So they almost don't have a choice but to let Era free farm as much as he wants. So even with the 2 deaths, Era basically at Diffusal and Yasha.
Yeah, and I mean, right now, there's still only the Lifestealer up against him. Lifestealer now level 10. He did get, I mean, he caught up on levels, and he has also started to build up towards his armlet, of course, which is pretty decent, as how to use his song to escape from the mid lane. But it's pretty decent, as we have a chase also. Fly might be in some trouble. Lightning Light will help out. In comes a TP, perhaps. No, just a relocation. Courier gets microed away. Both? Oh no, not both. Nope. Courier.
Oh, they're still trying to snipe it.
Courier. They can
Oh,
get
dear.
it. Oh, in comes the snare up on the Courier. It's sitting right there. Do they have the vision? Now they do. It's gonna still be Weaver dead. The Courier lives though. Hasten away. Run, Noski, run or fly. Look at him fly. Look at
Amazing
the little
Oski
guy.
defense.
Oh,
If only they had Shadow Shaman
Trixie,
wards.
what are you doing, Trixie? You can't dive that.
He's still trying to kill the Courier. Oh man.
Aye.
If only they had Shadow Shaman, that would have been fine. Oh, I forgot to mention yet another thing Naga Siren does better against top. Will the Spear Breaker charge finish? No, it won't. Nice try. Really nice try, but not enough. Another thing Naga does better than any other support, set up Courier kills, because Ensnare works on Courier. So
Yeah.
Naga, nerf this hero, plus 6.
Yeah, we've got Lifestealer TPing in mid. They want to try and go for this, perhaps. If they can Fiend Script someone, they Fiend Script Trixie. In comes Hani. He doesn't have a song anymore. Does have a snare, though. Use it on a Bane, but it's too late. Timbersaw already dead. Hani looking to follow him into the death, and there he goes. That's going to be another kill. 2 kills added to the board. It's 11-3. D.P.W.Z. Even though they get the kills.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, they have to get some map control off the back of it now as well, because otherwise it's not going to be worth it. Like, they have to get some
need
towers.
a tower. Like, 5 days ago they needed a tower.
Yeah.
And Illuminate is going to make trying to take those towers incredibly costly. And that's the real difficulty. Like, they're getting kills, and they're doing a fantastic job. Like, the team coordination is good. Like, it's not like they're playing badly. It's just, how, as this lineup, do you push in and actually win the game? Because you can get as many kills as you want and still lose. Fnatic could have 0 kills now and they'd still be winning.
I mean, Fnatic's lineup, it's just so tough to push in against. Not only do you have the Illuminate, but also on one side you have a lane that's always pushed out because of the Phantom Lancer. And then you have No-Tail, of course, who will also start split pushing a bit more effectively. No-Tail, by the way, has still not... Like, this is the slowest Roshan ever, first of all. But
Yeah.
he also still has his Hand of Midas that he still has to use.
Yeah, he's losing a lot of time, but the one great thing about the Roche is it's... that was funny.
Oh, and his trees! He wanted to create treants out of this proxy with a chakram, and he burst all the trees away.
Alright, well, a little bit of Benny Hilling here at the Fnatic Roche pit, but just the ability to ensure that D.P.W.Z can't possibly take this Aegis is great.
Yeah.
Because one thing that D.P.W.Z could do is... Oh, here comes the Spirit Bomb onto Era!
And out comes the Infested Lifestealer. Era, open wounds. Can he try to run? He still gets a Diffuser Blade, but he goes down. Nicely done. Nether Strike upping out. And that's the kind of thing that they have to continue doing. I mean, they've got the dust. That's all they need to do. Because what other thing can Phantom Lancer do? He's gonna get slowed. He can diffuse all the dust off of him, which is from now on, of course, the thing that he's gonna do. But
Yes.
yeah.
But Diffusal will also break your Doppelwalk, so you have to make sure you Diffusal first and then Doppelwalk.
Yeah.
So it's tricky because they probably don't want to dust you until after you Doppelwalk, right? So really, Era does. He just doesn't have an answer to that. He has to just get tanky enough that it won't kill him. So really, really well done. Good Spirit Bomb, well timed. Right when Fnatic were rushing, ZZ's probably gonna die. Oh, nice little ring around the Rosie there, but still an easy kill.
Chakram will not care about towers in the meantime. There's a charge up. They go for the Aegis target. No-Tail already dropped the Aegis. Now tries to TP himself out. Will be able to do that. Hani helping out with that one. In comes Trixie, and that's gonna be one TP home. Bullman making it out. BKB turned on by the Weaver, who is now running for his life. Do they have any detection? I don't believe they do.
He still has time
The
left.
dust is on
so.
cooldown. Yeah, he's gonna be fine. So they take nobody and they lose the Aegis. Actually, I guess they take the Abaddon, but I don't think we can count that.
Well, even the Abaddon kill is really nice because Trixie is getting closer and closer to his Bloodstone, even despite the early pressure that he faced. He's been last hitting really well. And so I think D.P.W.Z are looking at these items and being like, crap, like we're running out of time in which our ganks are going to be that effective because of the item deficit that we have relative to them. They do have 2 armlets, and here comes Bowman charging in on Era.
Yeah, in comes the dust already before he gets out. In comes the slow though, or at least the slow.
Yeah.
The
So that's
song.
what you can't do. You gotta dust later.
Yep. Era's invisible again. The Sprout is up on the Lifestealer. In comes the Bane also. He has got the Fiend Script, so it's not over just yet. In comes Era again with the Lance up on Dank. In comes Illuminate. In comes the heal. Can it get enough? Hello, Trixie. Welcome to the party. Chakram,
no.
you cannot stand in the Chakram while Fiend Scripting. Bane dies. Abaddon dies, but as does Trixie. As the tree or the bull tries to get himself out, gets ensnared. Or what? Nope, Diffusal Blade. That should be still Spirit Breaker dead. Now they go for the Lifestealer who wasn't ensnared. The
Toggle.
silence is there, and that's gonna be Armlet toggling himself back to life. Can he actually do something here? No, that's gonna be him that
Oh no, 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 no. Bullman!
Armlet toggling to save his life here, and he is actually gonna Still.
Bowman, no.
Oh.
Come on, Bowman.
You can do it. You can do
Yes!
it. Make it into that. Oh my God.
Bowman in the mix. That was excellent. They're not gonna win this game, but they just won the respect of everyone everywhere, in my opinion.
I think so too. That cow just ran for his life literally, and he was able to do it. Armlet, Spirit Breaker, legit. Goes for BKB next. And, well, of course that was basically the first 5-on-5 fight that Fnatic actually really won. I hope I said it right, because, I mean, there hasn't been that many, like, real big team fights. And, of course, the kills were in favor of D.P.W.Z. But Fnatic definitely took that fight in their favor. I got a lot of heroes down. Of course, they didn't get the Weaver, and they didn't get the Spirit Breaker, which is out of 2 cores of D.P.W.Z, but they got the other 3, so that's still pretty neat. And we have got also, of course, Era, who was in those fights. So far, he'd only died 3 times, but now he actually got a kill and an assist.
Yep. Trixie going an unusual route for his Bloodstone. He's making the Soul Booster first, and then the Perseverance. Usually we see it the other way around, but the extra tankiness is very useful here because of, you know, Spirit Breaker carrying this whole Spirit Bomb thing. So having the extra HP by getting the Point Booster and the Vitality Booster is much more important than the sustainability given by the Perseverance. So I like this adaptive build. It's like still a Bloodstone, but it's a Bloodstone that is built in an order that is useful for the game. So D.P.W.Z, it's going to become harder to just get these kills, especially because they still don't have towers. They only have the tier 1 bot. And it's tough to convert into a pushing lineup, but to win they have to.
They're gonna have to continue making it happen. Of course, an important factor for that is keep the warding going, because they need to be knowing when someone is getting separated from the pack, so to speak. They've got 2 wards up, but they're at very, like, standard placers.
Got a Photic Shield. It is going to expire.
Trixie.
Fnatic are all here. This is really scary.
This is really scary. In comes Era with the lance. Run for your life. They now realize it. In comes in a snare. Still up on the life here, about to try to chase down the Spirit Breaker. Spirit Breaker knows that he can get away, though. He has got, of course, his armlet that saves life. Dust comes up as well. They won't be able to take anybody down, but they at least don't die themselves, which is pretty impressive considering everybody in Fnatic was sitting right there.
Yeah, I'm surprised. A little bit of... Ooh, actually, Weaver, can he actually get this tower? Nah, it gets denied. But honestly, it's okay.
Oh, he can get this kill, perhaps. No deal, still alive. Time lapse away. The BKB now ends. And now Trixie can try to do some damage again, but they don't have any detection.
It's okay to get the tower denied, because the most important thing they need from these towers is map control, and they're seizing it back a little bit at a time. Now they just need to reestablish vision, especially on Fnatic's side of the map. Oh, Weaver, is he going to get caught by no-tail? Or is it going to be the other way around?
Oh, no-tail's taking a lot of damage here. Weaver, no, there you go. Trixie helping out.
Orchid plus Timbersaw, very strong combination there. And, yeah, I thought that they didn't pick Troll, but... Whoa, Spirit Breaker!
Hello, Spirit Breaker. Blinding Light helping out. He will be able to get himself away, though. Aaron won't die. Will be stopped
no
in
bomb.
his Ancients.
Lifestealer wasn't inside. I think Lifestealer's a little salty because of that last charge, where, like, Spirit Breaker charges in, and then as soon as Lifestealer infests out, Spirit Breaker walks away.
Yeah.
So I thought they didn't pick a Troll, but I guess they actually did.
Yep. It's like, okay, you know what? Bye. Enjoy your ride. This is end of the line. We have got 1,500 gold over the Spirit Breaker, so he's close to having his Mithril Hammer. He really needs that BKB fast, though. I mean, they've been trying to charge in right now, and we see that they try to keep the aggression going, but they just can't find the right openings, and a BKB will just allow you to sit around longer to find the right target, maybe also. Fnatic, though, doing a really good job as just keeping everything at bay and just split pushing and making sure that really the whole map is still theirs, or at least their side of the map is still theirs. And it actually was something that I want to point out, especially something that we are gonna hopefully maybe see more of. This is a Hani support Naga Siren who almost has a Diffusal Blade ready.
Nice. 2 diffusals. The thing is, the diffusal they already have has been immense for the fights. Like, Era being able to drain out all the mana from, for instance, Lifestealer in between his rages, or taking all the mana of Abaddon, a hero that really just wants to spam his abilities, is tremendous. What if you get all Bane's mana before he Fiend's Grips? And adding his second diffusal will only ramp that up. Now, Spirit Breaker's charging Era, but can he do this without Lifestealer in tow? He needs to lock him down for long enough for Bane. Nice. Nice
pick-off. Important pick-off. No-tail, and then, yeah, and the Nightmare is our Fiend's Grip, maybe? No mana for a Fiend's Grip. He used all the stick charges, but he doesn't have enough 50 mana off, No-Till will get away. But very important kill, D.P.W.Z. They're still getting this. 7 kills on the hands of the Spirit Breaker, who only died once so far, has been involved in 9 out of the 14 kills. The gold graph, though, is still in favor of Fnatic. 10k gold in their favor. As also now this bottom tier 1 tower looks to be dropped. In comes Trixie, goes for the Weaver, time lapse out. Fiend's Grip still there, but in comes the Song. Hani helping out. The BKB still up on the Weaver, goes up on Hani, and now they will try to go again, or will they actually back themselves out? Illuminate flies through and comes in a snare up on the Weaver. Riptide there as well. Chakram, whirling death, that's it. That's the kill. Down goes the tower, but it's a deny. At least that's something that D.P.W.Z can deny against Fnatic. Sprout gets broken by Trixie. There goes the Bane, still dead. Timberstar with the kill, and the Lifestealer goes infesting inside the tree, the creep that can actually get denied. There we go. That's gonna be 3 dead, and that's already now taking the kills back. Losing the Phantom Lancer in the end. Not that bad of a deal, considering the fight that they were able to set up with it on the bottom lane.
They really needed to kill No-Tail as well during that fight, and Bane just a little bit short. This is actually the second time that he hasn't managed his mana effectively, and it's led to losing a potential kill. Which is unfortunate, but I mean, it's really hard to be in the position of having to, like, 100% of the time, like, be on your game to continue getting these kills that are your only route in. It's tough, and Fnatic, they're starting to get to the point at which their like money advantage is just very hard to counteract, especially now that Era's quite close to Heart to Rasp.
Yeah, Fnatic now only 1 tower left standing on the side of D.P.W.Z. I can drop brilliant circles, I know, but I mean they seem to be taking those, like, after that fight they seem to be taking those like without effort. It goes so fast. Every time they get kills, they take map control back for it as well. And that's something that D.P.W.Z hasn't been able to do. Every time they got a kill, they had to back off afterwards, because in came the rest of Fnatic. And now we have Bane getting an Illuminate, perhaps actually just missed. Nightmare upon the Naga Siren, so that means that Dank will get himself out, or, well, turns around, Fiend's Grip, Hani dead, no Song for the next fight. Nice pickoff. Still Fiend's Grip used for that one, cooldown there. Oh, Era. No detection. They still had dust, so probably didn't, no Fiend's Grip, I guess. Maybe they didn't want to try. Charge top, goes for your No-Tail. No-Tail TPing out just in time, I think.
Yeah, just barely, but he gets the timing, so good job by No-Tail. No choice. Did they not have Infest? Interesting that Lifestealer didn't choose to Infest. He does have Basher, so after a very slow start, Jungle Lifestealer now is up to some decent amount of items. It's not enough, but it's something.
If you...
I would probably... This might be a good game for him to go Maelstrom, though. They need AoE sooner or later, especially after Heart comes online.
So if you're gonna see this game with, wait a second, as we're gonna see maybe Lifestealer trying to do something up against Trixie. Double damage for the Weaver, but he won't be there in time actually. He's still gonna try. They're still gonna actually try to, Trixie just goes to the other side. Gets charged still though, but oh well. Actually, he still gets charged, they still see him. They're still gonna try, they're gonna go high ground. Timber Chain away, finds No-Tail there. Open wounds already up on No-Tail. Silence up on the Spirit Breaker, but he turns on his BKB. He doesn't care about Silence. Goes for another strike up on No-Tail and is able to pick him off as well. Trixie still fighting a bug. And in comes the Song, but the Bull doesn't care. He gets ensnared, gets a Whirling Death, stands in the Chakram, and now will finally drop. But it's a decent trade for D.P.W.Z to make, unless they commit more here. They can't afford to. No-Tail bought back. ZZ tries to TP himself out, will not be able to do so. Dies. Keep up with the light. Also already dead. We are going to see the Bane picked up as well. Trixie with a double kill. And that's going to be the Weaver getting himself out of there. Should be able to get himself out of there unless Trixie is able to make something happen here. Trying to chase him down. Goes the wrong way though. No. Okay, so the question I wanted to ask. If you're saying D.P.W.Z, if they lose this game, and you're going to watch this game together with D.P.W.Z, what are you going to tell them? How should they do this better? Like, apart from the kills, because, I mean, they're just way behind on gold, even though they are doing decently on the kills. And, I mean, disregarding the towers, as Lifestealer has some issues here. Trixie might have the issues more. No, Lifestealer dies first. Weaver will get himself out with the Shakushi, turns on his BKB for it as well.
I mean, for me, I would look at the draft, honestly. I really do think that they put themselves in a much harder position than they needed to be, just based on the draft. And I think that some other options that they could have gone for would have made life a lot easier. I think given the draft that they, like, I mean, obviously you go to the war with the army that you have, and once they were in game, they've been playing pretty well. Maybe Lifestealer Jungle was a bit, I don't know, like he could have done just as well, if not better, somewhere else. So they could have reshuffled the lanes a little bit. But mainly, I wouldn't necessarily have taken the Lifestealer. I feel like he hasn't really had any impact compared to Spirit Breaker, who's had a huge impact.
Just draft. I don't know, which one would you pick up instead of the Lifestealer?
Troll.
Yeah.
Because you know how well Spirit Breaker is doing?
Yeah.
Imagine how much better he'd be doing if he had Battle Trance in every fight.
It's like a free Mask of Madness.
Yeah. Plus,
Without,
for a while, Troll
yeah.
Troll can hold off Phantom Lancer illusions. Obviously not like after Heart, but for a while, Whirling Axes will do a crap ton of work because of the 60% miss.
Oh, honey, walking straight past the sentry. Do they have dust? They have a sentry. That's enough. Fiend Script used for him as well. Might be slightly overcommitting because Fnatic is quite close by with the rest of them. And now Era is happy that there's not going to be a Fiend Script for him anymore. But it looks like Fnatic is backing off for now.
Yeah, I mean, just to finish the thought about your question, like, you have to think about when you're drafting, like, what is the way that we're going to win in this game? And I feel like with no push, like, they basically drafted a lineup that had no capacity to push towers against a Keeper of the Light who can turtle against push, even decent push. Like, you have to sort of ask yourself the question, is the best that we can do actually enough to win this game? And I feel like with this lineup, it's almost not. Like, you have to do insanely well early to get enough of an advantage to win.
That's true. And of course also you have to be able to pick off those benchmarks to be able to keep ahead, aka towers. Need towers. Only 2 towers down on the side of Fnatic so far. One of them of course is a deny, I believe. And
yes, top was the
yeah,
deny,
top was the deny. And that's, I mean, that's a lot of gold on the map that you really want to have, especially knowing that your opponent is getting that gold. Your opponent has got the better late game, but it's already having a very decent early game as well. And I say very, very decent, but they're 20k gold ahead right now. And we're getting to that point where, I mean, it's not early game anymore, for sure. It is actually close to being late game, especially with this Phantom Lancer having a level 2 Diffuser Blade. By the way, Naga Siren has the same one. Just saying. And then you also have got a Mantis Tower around the corner. And, I mean, he has a heart already. In comes a charge. They want to go for Era. They still see him. But won't be able to do anything. I mean, that heart is just... It's getting too hard to kill. Look at the sentry wards. There's so many sentry wards around here.
Yeah. They do win the D.P.W.Z wins the sentry battle. They take down 2 sentries, keep theirs. So, that was pretty good. But yeah, as you said, the fact that Hani is actually doing very well, like he's sort of getting to the point at which his illusions are not as much of a threat as the PLs, but another threat that D.P.W.Z can't really answer. So they're just going to eventually just make a massive illusion push, and D.P.W.Z's lack of AoE
long-range Fiend Script up on Trixie. Can he actually Timber Chain out? I think he can. In comes a song. Helping out. That will be Bane dead, if Hani can call it, and that will be indeed the case. Naga Siren with the kill, and comes a Sprout up on 2. Will allow them to all focus on the Spirit Breaker there. No Teal in some trouble though. One more bash and he is dead. He does end up going down. Weaver with the credit. A battle still dies on the back foot. We also have the Keeper of Light dropping, and that's gonna be Weaver. Ooh, time him just in time. And he cushions himself away. Diffuser Blade up on the Lifestealer. Era still in this. He has that heart. He is going down though. Look at that Weaver hitting him with that Diffuser Blade. He gets the Aegis.
Sure that the fight occurs on low ground. Because if it occurs on high ground, even if Fnatic lose the fight, they just direct all their illusions to bash the towers, and you win but you lose. Instead, they force a fight at a positioning where Fnatic can't really take much of anything, even if the fight goes okay for them. And that, honestly, D.P.W.Z have been very well coordinated in some of these fights. Weaver now chasing on Fly. They can take out Keeper. Unfortunately, he does have that Ghost Scepter, so... The problem is, they take that fight, it costs them 2 buybacks, and they still don't take a map objective. Fnatic ends up still with a tier 1 tower in the mid that's barely hurt.
Yeah. It is pretty troublesome for D.P.W.Z still. But I do kind of think that Fnatic, considering the way they are ahead, I think they could have done something different. I mean, I think they could have not lost that fight somehow. Do you share that, or...?
It's, yeah, maybe. I mean,
or
the positioning was
split push
very...
at least. I mean, the fight lasted very long, but they didn't get anything in terms of split push.
Part of that was the location where the fight did end up happening, and part of it was I do feel that they let Spirit Breaker run pretty rampant, although he does have BKB. But yeah, I mean, Spirit Breaker was able to do a lot of damage. Trixie was focused well, like he had to leave the fight, basically, because he was at 100 HP. So they just lost most of their damage dealers early in the fight. They're still in pretty firm control of this game, plus they got 2 buybacks to be used from D.P.W.Z. So Spirit Breaker's farm, for now, is pretty much arrested at this armlet BKB.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if they can hold on. I mean, the longer they hold on, the question is, I mean, what are they turtling for, right? You can't really turtle when you know that you're going to be up against a Phantom Lancer. So they know that something needs to be happening, and they smoke up. Infested Lifestealer inside the Spirit Breaker. Where are they going to go? Who are they going to go for? They've got vision of No-Tail. They have a ward of the high ground, but they also see Hani sitting right next to that, and of course Hani is the one with the song. They do still go for No-Tail though. They'll find themselves a era when they come past him. Nice Sprout! Oh my god, a brilliant Sprout!
Sick Sprout!
In comes another strike. They still will get him though. One more hit. There they go. No-Tail dies.
Deserved the kill.
Shield up for the Weaver. Looking for Fly. Pops his Ghost Scepter again, and that's going to be bringing him safe. We still have Hani around here. Goes for the ensnare. Gets himself the Weaver. I mean, Hani is starting to be way more than just a support, so they have to be careful. In comes a song as well, allowing for people to come back. And pray, yeah, in comes the recall.
Weaver has 0 mana.
Nature's Prophet coming in as well. The Weaver, basically the one to do all the damage on the side of D.P.W.Z. Gets picked off, and Trixie looking for more.
Yeah.
Looking for more.
And Trixie, one way or another, because he's been able to dodge more or less any deaths since laning phase, he's only died once in the last, like, 28 minutes. And all of a sudden, 16 charges up on this guy's Bloodstone plus Shiva's. So his survivability is incredible, his sustainability is incredible, and that's what a 20 whatever 50 million K gold advantage gives you, is items on everybody.
Tier 2 tower, or Tier 3 tower, taking a bit of a respite right now. I mean, here's the split push which comes in. I mean, you've got some Treants, you've got some Illusions. Illusions not being microed though, and that will definitely allow the tower to stand for a little while longer as Hani comes in way too much, way too fast, and gets Fiend's Grip, gets killed off on the wrong side of the fence. Like, literally, that's a fence that you shouldn't be crossing if you're by yourself, and I'm not sure where he wants to go there.
Bullman in the mix, charging on Fly.
Yep, and there's already a Ghost Up to pop, but I don't think that Bullman really cares. Actually, instantly chased target, gets hexed up for the Weaver. Weaver gets picked up. Now they go for the Spirit Breaker. Will Fly actually live through this? A Blinding Light, try to help out, and Bull TP's out, try to. Double kill for Era. And now the 2 cores of D.P.W.Z are down.
Yeah, close. Funny thing about Ghost Scepter is it makes Nether Strike hit you even harder. But unfortunately it wasn't quite enough to blow up Fly, and they pay a lot because they don't have buyback on Spirit Breaker. It's on cooldown, he doesn't have the gold. They don't have buyback on Weaver, it's on cooldown, he doesn't have the gold. And I think this is probably Fnatic taking this, but D.P.W.Z, I mean, they did quite well. I think they can hold their head high from this game.
I think so too. I definitely do. I mean, you're going to be up as definitely an underdog up against a Tier 3 invited team. It's not easy. I mean, definitely isn't. But look at the kill score. It's 23-24. And I think it all comes down to experience. Well, I guess that goes for everything, but it goes for a lot of things.
Too.
But yeah, in the draft is part, of course, of experience, I feel like.
Sure, definitely.
So
yeah, they did really well, especially considering that the tools they had to win the game were pretty blunt.
Yeah.
And D.P.W.Z, gotta give respect to that armlet toggling.
Oh, for sure. It's a shame that we don't know his name, though. Like, who's gonna take the credit? Like, smiley face guy?
Emoji player.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know.
You can find his aliases probably on Steam.
Yeah, I actually think that maybe we're just gonna jump ourselves into the next Fnatic game, by the way. So, other than that, we're gonna find out which game we're gonna cast next. Of course, there is the situation of that there is 4 games going on at the same time, people. You have to make choices. It's really tough to think about which game you want to see most, which game you want to see, you know, best. Yeah. Anyway, we're gonna find out, so stick around. We'll be right back with more Dota 2 action. Of course, you're watching the Raid Call EMS 1. This is Cup number 2, and we're gonna see the first 2 rounds of the Cup today. This was already round number 1. We're gonna jump ourselves to the quarterfinals next, or semifinals and finals are gonna be tomorrow. So quarterfinals first. Stick around. 1 more game to go. We'll be right back. Hello and welcome to a game of Dota 2. We are watching the Raid Call EMS 01. This is for fall 2013. And this is Cup number 2. We're gonna see Fnatic taking on D.P.W.Z. And with me, of course, once again, is Vekermond. Welcome back.
Good to be back. We've had a long day, honestly, but I mean, I'm excited for this game. I would like to see Fnatic sort of bounce back. They did have a very long and grueling game just now, basically an hour plus some mysterious pauses. So
yeah.
I mean, they're up against a team. I'm not familiar with D.P.W.Z at all. Not entirely sure. Where are they from?
Well, we can see that because I believe the flags are listed on the brackets, and I wanted to show the brackets anyway, so that's so good.
Well, there we go.
That's
what a lead-in.
A very, very brilliant lead-in. So the lead-in is here, the brackets. We are seeing that a couple of teams got themselves a free win, or at least free pass past the first round, including the team that will be up against the winner of this one, which would be one, I believe. Actually, I don't know who that is. But D.P.W.Z are Russians. That's what we can say. They are white, blue, and red. That's what they are. And we're seeing the teams of today. So the teams that you should watch out for sure. Of course, Empire, 4FC, definitely not someone that you can underestimate. Virtus.pro, Fnatic, and of course Menace as well. As those are actually, like, Empire, Virtus.pro, Fnatic, and Menace are the four that are probably favored to be in the semifinals tomorrow. And of course, we're gonna only have the first 2 rounds today, and then we're gonna jump ourselves. Well, then we're gonna jump ourselves a day forward, and then the semifinals will be played tomorrow after each other, so no overlapping games tomorrow. While at the moment there is actually 4 games going on in the first round and 4 games again going on at the same time in the second round. But tomorrow no overlaps, and tomorrow the finals are gonna be there. Anyways, that's gonna be the brackets. Of course, if you want to check those out for yourself, you can do so, and you can do so on the EMS webpage, and that would be. Well, I can actually say that well, but it's like www.esl.eu, and I think you can find your way from there going to ESL EMS1. It's a long one that I would actually try to pronounce, and I think I would fail at that, and I don't want to do that. So here we are with a game of Dota 2, as apparently I don't know what just happened. There we go. With a game of Dota 2 and a draft, of course, already still going on. We have got IO Bat banned out. We also got a Visage and an OD banned out. With now also the Gyrocopter removed, D.P.W.Z picking up an Abaddon and a Weaver. Now that's a strong combination to have from the get-go. Of course, Fnatic, they pick up Nature's Prophet and the Naga Siren. And those also are 2 very strong heroes.
Yeah, I think Naga is, out of these 4 heroes, is pound for pound the strongest right now, simply because of her incredible versatility and ability to do almost everything better than almost any other support can. Like, what really is another support better at doing than Naga is, if you think about it? She has near the top of damage with no items because of Riptide. She has the best scouting, like vision ability with her illusions. She has, you could argue, the best single target disable, and one of the best AoE disables, and she has really good base movement speed. Like, the list goes on. So I think Fnatic definitely are happy with their lineup already. Nature's Prophet for Trixie. We know that Fnatic are a team that really likes the split push. In fact, maybe one of their more uncomfortable things in the last game was they really had not many vehicles to split push with until they got Dezo Weaver, which was very late in the day. Whereas D.P.W.Z, much more of the, we're a Russian team, we want to go get kills by putting a Photic Shield on Weaver and killing you.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, we've got the keeper of the line now also for Fnatic, and I mean, if you're talking about Naga Siren being a strong support, if you have an Illuminate, then to add to all that she brings, and I mean, every spell that she has combines up with the Illuminate, maybe apart from the mirror images, but you can of course ensnare, Illuminate over the top, Song setting up for a nice level 4 Illuminate, and
Bullman.
Bullman. Yes, Spirit Breaker picked up by D.P.W.Z. I hope this is going to be a support Spirit Breaker, because that will mean that they will be a bit more aggressive in the early game.
Yeah, I think it will be. Honestly, that's pretty cool. Like, charge in, just put the Aphotic Shield on Spearbreaker if you want, if they try to stun him, and have Weaver mop everybody up. Fnatic, meanwhile.
Oh wow.
Alright, yeah. They want to kill towers. Insufficient tower killing power last game, going to ramp it up, add the Phantom Lancer. And honestly, Phantom Lancer here's a very good pick. He would probably be the 5th ban for D.P.W.Z if he made it that far. But instead, they have next to no wave clearing power right now. They have 3 heroes already drafted, and none of them can really clear a wave effectively. Weaver in particular is a hero who, as the game wears on against PL, feels more and more impotent. So, good choice by Fnatic. I know you won't be happy, because I think you hate the crap out of PL, but...
I don't hate the crap out of PL, I just don't like the kind of game he normally brings.
Well, that's very... now, at least you won't hurt PL's feelings, but I
Yeah.
feel like it boils down to more or less the same thing, right?
It's like, I mean, normally you see him in split pushing. He is gonna try to evade fights. There's a Ninja Prophet there as well. They're gonna play it safe. They're gonna split push to death. And I mean, I'm happy that there's gonna be a Spirit Breaker to try and break that trend.
Break the spirit of the Phantom Lancer? Yeah, sure. And if he doppelwalks, you still have the doesn't break charge, so you still know where the correct Spirit Breaker is. That might actually come in handy at some point. I mean, it's hard to say because I have no idea what execution level D.P.W.Z are going to run at. BTW adding a Bane means it's actually going to be core Spirit Breaker. So interesting to see where they'll lane him. We saw some people experimenting with Spirit Breaker mid, but it's tough to say as Fnatic don't actually have their mid yet. So you could end up with a very bad matchup.
Yeah, well, both teams don't really have their mid lane just yet. Well, I'm kind of thinking that now we can assume that the Spirit Breaker, or a Baden actually, is not going to be a support anymore, unfortunately. Queen of Pain gets moved for one side, so Fnatic is also assuming that there's still mid to be picked up. First pick, of course, goes to Fnatic. So I would say the advantage in the mid lane is actually, should in theory be going the way of D.P.W.Z. In terms of heroes, of course. I mean, we have... Yeah, we have a team that nobody has, that a lot of people haven't heard about before. At least I hadn't heard about them before. And they will be going up against a team that was invited to the International.
Right.
Good luck.
Yeah, definitely. But hey, nobody expects anything of you. There is literally zero pressure on you because nobody thinks you're going to win. So that might be freeing in some respect. Anyway, if they wanted to run the Spirit Breaker mid, it's not going to happen now. Timbersaw hits the field. I think the Puck ban was much better. Like, they couldn't ban Timbersaw. They really did need to ban Puck because Puck would be better here. But T-Saw is definitely going to make some impact.
T-Saw.
T-Saw. What do you want me to call him? Rizrak the Goblin Shredder? I'll pass.
Mr. T.
Mr. T. Mr. T is pretty good, actually.
Yeah. We are gonna see last pick for D.P.W.Z, and I'm hoping for a great one there. I'm hoping for actually, we can do really well up against Timbersaw.
Out of their remaining options, not that much. Queen of Pain actually does quite well against him, but against Timbersaw, I mean, obviously they could go Troll. Let's see the Troll, actually. Completely unironically, they should run Troll here.
You mean you're not trolling when you say that you want to troll? Sorry, I had to say it. It's just so bad.
Right, fair enough. No, I deserve that to some extent. Yeah, I think Troll's an option. At least it gives them the ability to push down Fnatic before they can split push. It funnels you into a pretty narrow way to win the game. But that's probably what they need to do anyway, because if they let it go long, there's almost nothing they could draft right now that'll do it. Plus, Troll Spirit Breaker, we saw somebody, I think Kaipi, run it the other day. I'm not persuaded of the Lifestealer. Who are they going to run mid, for instance? Weaver?
I'm thinking they have Lifestealer in mind for mid.
I don't like that.
I don't like it either, unless maybe they put the Bane mid. The downside is, or maybe the upside for them, for the players, of course, we don't know where they're going to go based on who's playing what.
I don't hate the Bane mid idea, actually. It could be okay.
Yeah. I think it would be better than the Lifestealer. I mean, that strength issue that you always go on about.
Yeah, it's not the worst matchup, because Lifestealer, of course, is pretty good against... Wow, sick burns. It's worth mentioning.
Yeah, I'm sorry. But that's the only reason why every time Timbersaw's there... I mean, I was playing a pub today, and I was a support on the lane with an Iowa and a CK, and there was a Timbersaw up against us, and I in my head thought about everything that you ever said about that matchup.
Did you lose?
I didn't lose that many games.
Was it at least very painful because of the whirling death?
I think we killed him a couple of times because I was I was an extra stun, so I was.
Right, it's not as easy with 1v3. So
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I mean, it's one of the foundations of Timbersaw being used as a mid hero, certainly. Yeah. Either way, I think D.P.W.Z came out with a workable lineup. I do think Troll gave them a lot more ways to win. Like, the Lifestealer is more... Like, it almost is even narrower than the Troll would have been. This Lifestealer basically has to do well, or they just lose.
You know what? It's either gonna be Spirit Breaker, or Lifestealer, or Weaver. Good luck. Nobody actually has a build that's specifically mid-oriented. But let's see who's playing what. So we get some idea about